And still staying with ECOWAS, an ambitious plan for 15 West African countries to adopt a common currency has been pushed back to 2027. The ECO, meant to have been launched last year, was delayed by COVID-19 and its aftershocks. According to ECOWAS, there's a new roadmap and the new convergence plan that will cover the period of 2022 to 2026. The West African bloc has been pursuing a common currency project for more than 2 decades now to help remove trade barriers, ease the cost of doing business, and boost economic growth in a region of more than 380 million people. With the bloc, 8 countries that already share the CFA have already started reforms of their own ahead of the wider currency project. Well, Matt Kindiga, Associate Practice Lead Sub-Saharan Africa at Fronterview in London, joins us now to discuss the implication of this decision. Hello, Matt. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me on the show today.
So we know that COVID caused the first setback, which was supposed to be from last year. But now, what's the cause of this, and what does it tell us about the current state of West African economies?
Yes, certainly. Well, as you said, COVID-19 has been very disruptive economically in West Africa. And it is one of the main reasons why this currency project has been delayed. I would not say put on hold, but it's been delayed by a number of years. Although we can look a bit further back, so we can look at the physical positions of West African countries. So well before COVID-19, there was increasing fiscal strain being shown by certain member states of ECOWAS. Cote d'Ivoire was facing a bit of a difficulty, Ghana as well. And so what COVID-19 has done is exacerbate these fiscal pressures. And so this certainly has contributed to this delay, in our opinion. Countries have also been forced to prioritize their post-COVID recoveries. So this has meant focus on or attention on introducing the new currency has not been a top political priority. But there's also it's becoming increasingly clear that many West African countries are operating at different speeds. So what the ECOWAS, what the new currency requires is quite close convergence in terms of monetary environment, so inflation, currency stability, as well as physical stability. And we are quite far away from that. So it's quite clear that several economies are performing very well, whereas others are not performing as well as those. So this is also one of the reasons for the delay, in our opinion.
Yeah, well, like you noted, the economies are operating in different speed. So, and then the issue of vaccination is still there. So how realistic is this revised timetable of it being, introduced in 2027?
So I would say it is more realistic than the previous one, which has now been abandoned. And I would say that the introduction of a common currency across ECOWAS, which includes Nigeria and Ghana, is more likely. And this is because, we are seeing more aligned or more sort of harmonized announcements amongst ECOWAS members about their intentions for the currency. But I would say 2027 is it's not impossible, but it's not very likely at the moment. And this is because, as I've mentioned, there needs to be very considerable convergence amongst member states in terms of their fiscal parameters. We also need to have much lower inflation in markets like Nigeria and Ghana. And also there needs to be a unified political appetite amongst ECOWAS states to push forward with the currency. So CFA franc member states at the moment are used to having a common currency. It's part and parcel of daily life. Politically, it is accepted, but it will be a very bold political move for Ghana and Nigeria to become members of this common currency. So certainly there is quite a lot that needs to be done before for the 2027 deadline to be met.
Yeah. And what can businesses expect over the next 5 years as the introduction of ECO approaches?
If we assume that the currency is implemented as planned in 2027, so if we just take that as an assumption, then businesses could expect to see a lot of movement in terms of policy announcements, policy changes, as part of the preparation for the currency being introduced, and these would occur almost immediately. So, in reality, this probably is not going to happen straight away. So, what countries should expect to see is a continuation of the status quo, really. So we're going to see currency volatility in countries like Ghana, although we are expecting some improved currency stability over the next couple of years as the economy improves. We will continue to have FX shortages to an extent in Nigeria, with potentially a depreciation over the next couple of years, and then really the status quo in the CFA franc region. So what this all means is that companies should still expect to see very different currency regimes across West Africa until the eco currency is introduced, potentially within the next 5 to 10 years.
All right. Well, we look forward to that. Thank you so much, Matt, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks.